Breaker, this is Striker Star 19 reporting on my mission to watch the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. And those of you who know me personally or in any degree of this channel in any way know that this is probably a loaded topic for me. I might not seem like it from the videos I make, but Mortal Kombat's like my favorite thing, even though I seem to only talk shit about it lately, because it only does stupid things lately. So at first I was dreading this movie, but then I was like, you know what? I hated Mortal Kombat 11, the story, so much that there's no way they could do something worse than that. And to be fair, they didn't, because I was right, there was no way. But make no mistake, this movie is still bad. It still sucks. It's not awful, but boy, oh boy, it's not good, guys. I have the weirdest complex with Mortal Kombat in that in regard it's like the thing I do and it's the thing I know, but I become the kind of fan I find so insufferable when talking about it. In that I assume I know better than everybody, that I'm the only one who understands it, that am I so out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong. And this one didn't make me feel like I was losing my mind quite like Mortal Kombat 11 did, but it definitely still made me feel no, I'm the only one who gets it. And again, that's me speaking from the most pretentious, insufferable place possible. If this is what people want, yeah, live your life. But it is, I guess it's a signal to me that Mortal Kombat might be turning into something that I'm not looking for. Which is, I think me getting defensive in that regard is reasonable. I guess, oh boy, wow, where to begin? We see Sub-Zero kill Scorpion's family again. It's like fucking it's like Scorpion is the Batman and or Spider-Man of video games in that I know his backstory, all right? I know. We all know he lost his family. We know. And the worst part about when they depict it on screen anytime ever is that it's never quite it's always exactly as I picture it. And sometimes that can be a good thing. In this case, it's not. It adds no nuance to like what we know about Scorpion or what his family was like. It's always, oh, he had a very sweet wife, and it's a shame she died. Like, oh, like what? What else do we need to know about him? In this, it would appear that Bihan killing Scorpion's family is played straight. Quan Chi's not involved, which as you might think, that sounds a bit sacrilegious at first. But if you're doing a new take, sure, whatever. I kind of don't care. Or no, I'm not gonna say I don't care, but you know what? It's a new take. Let's roll with it. Let's just roll with it. Um, so Raiden, in probably the most on-brand thing for a character in this movie, is that Raiden shows up after everybody's dead and it's too late to help anyone. Takes a baby that Sub-Zero left alive and just pieces out, which is the most Raiden thing I can think of. Oh my gosh. That baby would carry on Scorpion's bloodline. And now in the modern day, we have Cole Young, who is the OC Do Not Steal of this film. And he's not handled. And, like, again, I was like, oh my god, they're doing an OC. This sounds awful. He's not distracting. I think the worst thing about him. We'll cover it later. We'll cover it later. It's a plot point they kind of develop with him. Let's cover that later. Cole Young's an MMA fighter. Okay, well, he has a birthmark. It turns out fighters of Mortal Kombat get a dragon shaped birthmark proving they're chosen to fight in Mortal Kombat, which I kind of don't understand why Mortal Kombat 9 and X would spend entire games being like, hey, Liu Kang was a chosen one, and it kind of made him into a rotten guy, for God's sake. And now this movie's like, you're a chosen one, and you're a chosen one, you're all getting chosen one birthmarks, but sure, whatever, why not? Let's forget our own lessons. Shang Tsung, who is terrible in this movie. Oh my. They took one of the best Mortal Kombat characters and removed every shred of charisma he could have possibly had. Oh, it was. Oh, it makes me cringe to think about it. He's terrible in this. He's boring as you can possibly imagine. So Shang Tsung is sending guys into Earthrealm to take down people with the dragon birthmark. Now, at first I was like, well, so because the people with the birthmark can't compete in Mortal Kombat if they're dead and they want to win. What's fucking bullshit about this is the whole reason they're having the Mortal Kombat tournament is like in the games, Outworld can't invade unless they win the tournament. So what Shang Tsung is doing is sending Outworlders to pick them off, and I can't fathom how stupid that is. How they just immediately forget their own logic. At first, he sends Sub-Zero, and I'm like, okay, he's an Earthrealmer. I guess he can kind of be a kind of between both spaces. Sure, why not? Then Reptile does the same fucking thing, and it's like, oh, cool, you just forgot. No, well, they didn't forget, because Shang Tsung has like a throwaway line, like Shang Tsung and Melina are talking about how, oh, well, we can't break the Elder Gods' rules. We got to be careful about this. So they're doing it, and the Elder Gods just don't know. They act like either one, they're hiding it really well, or two, he refers to the Elder Gods as too lazy to do anything, which is stupid. It's fucking stupid. And then there's the matter of like, if Raiden and all the other good guys know Shang Tsung is cheating and sending Outworlders into Earthrealm when he's not supposed to, just tattle. Just tell on him. They would probably do something if you told them about it. Why are you just letting him get away with it? The only reason he's getting away with it is because they don't know, and you know. Oh my gosh. And, like, ugh, unfathomably stupid. And it's like, you don't even really need these fights in Earthrealm. Just have the characters go to Outworld, have the tournament. Just have if you want to have them fight, maybe go to the place where they fight. I don't know. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. It's the longest walk for the shortest drink of water I can fathom. And the whole appeal of Mortal Kombat is it's this fish out of water story where a dumbass movie star and a hard ass military lady with no superpowers go to a magic world and fight magic people. And that's like the culture shock. That's why that's why it's David and Goliath. But now you're having it the other way around, like it's the Terminator, where just some out of place magic guy is going to kill a bunch of people in broad daylight and completely cannibalize the logic of the franchise to do that. Okay, so they meet with Sonya. Sonya has Kano tied up. Sonya and Kano kind of enemy mine for a while, which isn't an approach I'm like totally opposed to, but we'll get to more on that. They meet Liu Kang, who's more of a mentor figure in this and kind of sort of Kung Lao too, and they establish we need to unlock your arcana, which is like, oh, that's your superpower. That's your, depending on your fandom, that's your quirk, that's your semblance, that's your X-Men mutant ability. When you have a birthmark, you get an arcana. Okay, and it's to explain because Liu Kang can throw fire in the games, sure, I guess, which I've never felt the need to feel like, oh, that needs to be explained to me. I've always just understood, oh, use of ki for out of body attacks is a common enough tropes in martial arts media that it's really not outlandish to me that he's reached a point in his training and enlightenment to have special powers. This is like what Lindsay Ellis says about Beauty and the Beast and how it over-explains everything to justify itself and take itself seriously. This is that. They're like, oh, everyone needs to have you can't just throw fire, everyone needs to have an arcana, which is never a thing in Mortal Kombat lore. Nuh-uh, no way. So, oh my, okay, get a load of this. Kano has both of his eyes, and I have like what I'm starting to call origin fatigue, where I'm like, oh, we're gonna learn how he loses the other eye, aren't we? We're gonna learn. We're gonna. Oh, we're gonna get the origin. I've always wondered. So Reptile like claws it out, and he doesn't even become cybernetic. His arcana, his special power, is shooting a laser out of that one eye. And again, it's like you could have just made him a cyborg, like he is in the games, instead of being like, oh, this is the arcana, it's his special power. Okay, all right, and oh, I should also mention maybe the worst scene in the movie is like, oh, we have to train you to get your arcana, and it's a little bit fish out of watery. And Kano gets his arcana because he gets really, really mad. Kung Lao and Liu Kang like both egg him on and taunt him until he like unlocks his special power, and it's all over this stupid comedic relief egg roll scene. It's bad. It's bad. Um, oh boy. I guess I also forgot to mention Jax is in this movie. Okay, okay. Sub-Zero fights Jax, and Jax again origin fatigue. He's like, do 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 do. I love having organic arms, and everyone knows Jax is the guy with metal arms. So of course Sub-Zero breaks off the arms. And okay, here's what gets me. So Jax is one of the champions Sub-Zero is sent after. Sub-Zero reports back to Shang Tsung, and he's like, I killed one of the Earthrealm champions, but he didn't. Jax is okay. They give him his metal arms. So not only are they betraying their own logic by sending Outworld fighters into Earthrealm, the Outworld fighters are fucking stupid. Sub-Zero didn't go for the head. He broke off Jax's arm, said, he's probably dead, and called it a day. Just double tap. Just make sure you got him. And I'm only foaming at the mouth at that because the Outworld fighters are so, like, outlandishly incompetent at what they do that it's like no wonder they have to cheat to win. And so everyone in this movie is stupid because Shang Tsung and the Outworlders are stupid because they can't kill one guy that they have on the ropes, and the Elder Gods are stupid because they're not doing anything about it. So what on earth? What is even happening here? This is the dumbest thing I've ever. And it's one of those things where I was watching and I was like, this is like a 5 out of 10. This is pretty dumb. But as I'm talking about it, like my brain is caving in. This is so stupid. I hate this. I hate this. Oh my gosh. And I know no one's expecting Shakespeare out of a Mortal Kombat movie, but Mortal Kombat had a rich lore and story that made more sense than this. Like they are actively just removing things and adding nothing. Oh man. And like because the Outworld fighters come off as so incompetent, it doesn't have that David and Goliath feel that the games have when a regular human just like overcomes the odds and defeats Goro and Mataro and what have you. It just strikes me as like the humans getting their shit together and killing all these like dumb mooks. Oh my gosh. I guess to their credit, some of the mooks were kind of pleasant to have around. Like Molina is fine. Sub-Zero, even though like I don't really get, they kind of make him the villain of this movie, which I feel is a little unfair because he was never intended to be that. To be clear, this is Bihan, so he was always a bad guy in the games too. It's not like they're making Kuai Liang into a bad guy. But still, I just don't really get where he fits into the mold of being the villain of this. Well, no, I get where he fits. I guess it's like I don't know who was like clamoring for Sub-Zero to be the main heel of this film. The movie ends on a confrontation with him. Shang Tsung goes, "I'll get you for this," and leaves. And we really don't know much about Bihan or why he's working for Shang Tsung and or if he's even. I guess presumably he's from Earthrealm because he speaks Chinese. Uh, but we don't know if he's in it for money or conquest or what on earth. As far as the other Outworld, Cabal is in this movie, and he's actually pretty great. I think he was the highlight of the film for me. The actor who's playing him just captures his mannerisms really well, and he has some phenomenal just moments. He gets to sweet talk Kano into joining the bad guys, which he does. Spoilers. Here's what's bizarre: the last two Outworld fighters are Reiko and Nitara of all people it could ever be, which I don't mind a deep cut. I thought it was kind of fun. I wish they were around for more than 5 seconds before they get killed by Jax and Kung Lao. But yeah, those are some minor characters you could pull, and like I'm kind of here for it. They have okay designs, they're integrated well. I just have to wonder who on the writing staff was like, I personally really like Reiko and Natara. Let's put them in. It worked. It worked fine. Oh my gosh. Kano's arc is really awkward because, like I said, Cabal wins him back over to the other side, and so he betrays everybody, and then he's in the movie for maybe 10 more minutes till Sonya kills him. Way to go. Cool. All right. I don't really know why he was there. Um, there's a point where they have to escape. They go to this. I guess that's another thing. The sets and production of this movie, they don't look cheap, but they are lame. A lot of like some characters look like I said, Cabal and Reiko look cool. Melina looks fine. Most of the good guys are just like humans anyway. Jax's metal arms. Gosh, it's another baffling part of this movie because Jax loses his arms. There's a bit of time we spend with him, like training to get used to his metal arms, and they barely work. Then, when he gets really, really mad and wants them to, his metal arms grow? Like, why is that what illustrates that he's getting good with his metal arms? Is that his arcana? That was not clear to me. I wonder if that was the case. Uh, man. Oh, man, this movie. Gosh, there's a part like Shang Tsung. Outworld just looks like a bunch of floating rocks. Like Shang Tsung looks like something out of friggin' Flash Gordon. It's so stupid looking. There's a point where Raiden escapes everyone to like the space between realms. It's just an empty white void and it looks stupid and I hate it. Um, I guess the other thing about this movie is that the fight scenes are good, but they gave away all the best parts in the previews because there's so many freaking characters in this movie. Just rattling off, there are fights between so we get Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, Sub-Zero versus Jax, Kano versus Reptile, Kano versus Sonya, Reiko versus Jax, Reiko versus Jax rematch, Kung Lao versus Natara. Um, Goro versus Cole Young, which okay, they waste Goro, who's supposed to be one of the biggest like dragons in the Mortal Kombat universe, and is just lately reduced to being such a chump, and it kind of ticks me off. And then Cole Young learns his arcana, which is he gets to cover himself in gold plating, which fine, I guess. But then he uses that plating to extend metal like blades from his arms, and it looks exactly like Baraka, and I thought I was going insane because you created an original character, made him the blood of Scorpion, and gave him Baraka's powers. And I thought, like, how did we end up here? That's absurd. That's a farce. That's insanity. That's bananas. Um, Sonya fights Melina. Another impressive part, the one good thing Shang Tsung gets to do in this movie is he does kill Kung Lao, and he gets a good old fashioned soul steal. And it's like the one grievous loss the good guys experience, they pull it off pretty well. But then a bunch of fights happen, they're all like 30 seconds long, because like I said, there's so many freaking characters that they can't afford more than like a half-minute encounter for each. To their credit, they usually end in an homage choreographed fatality. Jax gets to hit Reiko with the head clap, and Kung Lao gets a pretty good version of his buzzsaw fatality on Natara. It's kind of cool. Liu Kang's Fire Dragon also pulls itself off real well. Scorpion comes back. For some reason, they never really explain why. It's kind of nonsense. Because again, without Quan Chi, it's kind of hard to explain why he's ever even back. But afterthought, I suppose. He gets to do Toasty, though, and it comes out pretty well. Oh man. And then after they take care of Scorpion, Shang Tsung just kind of shakes his fist and leaves, and they lampshade that Johnny Cage is gonna join, and that's kind of it. And I didn't really like it. It's pretty dumb, guys. Uh, I can't. I like pray for me not to just like. I'm not gonna begrudge anyone who ends up liking this because I just Again, it's the worst kind of fan who's like, no, I know better, and you shouldn't like this. But as someone who just holds Mortal Kombat so close to me, it does just kinda, it sucks being pushed out this way. And even more so to see other people enjoying it. Potentially. I haven't actually seen a lot of review. This is opening day. I hated this so much that I supported it on day one. Oh man, there's a lot of the corny. Of course, they say fatality and flawless victory a couple times in there because they have to. There's an orchestral dun 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 at one point. Oh man, am I forgetting anything? I'm gonna check my Twitter thread because I was losing my mind on Twitter as I watched this. I think I pretty much covered all the bases. Uh, I guess that's pretty much it. That was the Mortal Kombat movie. Bad job, everyone. See you next time. Ah, shit sucks.